Hello. I think I have got things working. I think. Why am I in a Dota game? I haven't touched Dota today, actually, Vex. It's been a busy day. What's up? This is week 5 of Smiles Go for Miles. It's a little bit of a quick turnaround, of course, from week 4. I understand and respect that. But we have got replays to watch. We have actually got replays that have loaded. I was a bit worried that I was getting cloud errors on Showdown when trying to load replays. But after trying a few times with some of them, I have got them all to load, at least so far, for the Miles Conference, which is where we start today. We are, of course, very in touch with how the standings are, because, of course, we were seeing these develop just not only earlier this week on Wednesday in our first battle. Look at some of the fixtures we've got for this. As we roll across. These are the week 5 fixtures. We've got all but one. Only the Tampa Turtle, we get the Bolton Boldor leave and left and working out. We'll work our way up, starting with the Red Hill Regirock against the Scotland Samurott, which is right about here. Yeah, Showdown is having a bit of an issue, Sword. It would seem. You're right. Cool. So, we have got Teco, the Samurott, looking for their first win, and the Red Hill Regirock looking to get back on track after the incident against the Jolteons. So, Rotom Wash lead. Seems pretty safe against all of them. Diggersby won't be too happy to see Rotom. Might be forced. Oh, is outspared. Is that Scarf Rotom? And it's actually just Superpower. Surprising choice. Maybe expecting a switch to Scizor on a return prediction. I'm not sure. Another Superpower. But this burn Diggersby is very sad. And in fact, I don't believe there's a Cleric. Does Latias get Heal Bell? A bit of a pretty disastrous start. Very happy to get that threat nerfed, as a free U-turn is indeed there for the Red Hill Regirock, who take complete control of the battle. Here's a Brute Bonnet. Can it tank these hits? There's a Fake Out. Why is it in? Does it have a Dark Berry? Or just Sucker Punch? Of course! I forgot that thing gets that. Thanks the Sacred Sword to the face. Can it return with a Seed Bomb one-shot? It can. 2 kills for the very unsub-leeching Brute Bonnet, who gets even more damage, of course, off with the Diggersby. Kind of surprised that Brute Bonnet wasn't saved for a different sack, but it's definitely a lot of valuable damage. And it is falling to pieces. Yo, thanks for the bit, KP. I enjoy being rich, thank you. Our mind. What can stop this? Physical Tentacruel. Oh, Tentacruel's going to come out. Got 2 Calm Minds up. Sludge Bomb. I think this one might be over. The Red Hill Regirocks are back on track. And it's a little bit of a Clefable cleanup to start the stream. How are we doing? No haze on the Tentacruel either. Boom, boom. Ironhead flinches? Nope. Shitting on randoms and broadcasting Smiles Go for Mars. It's a lot of damage. And it's outspared. Is the Lycanroc? Maybe it was Scarfed Rotom. I'm not sure. Mystical Fire. Nice little prediction from Teco to get one back. As we see the drop. But it's soft boiled to be safe. Okie dokie. Of course, Mystical Fire does always drop, I think. So, no surprise there. So, there's, I would assume, still 17 weeks of Smiles Go for Miles, plus the transfer week in the middle of the season. I don't know what's going on here. This is a very fun exchange. And of course, this is only the 5th week. It is still such early days. But these games are worth just the same as the ones right at the end of the season, where it's a lot clearer to know exactly what you need to do. I don't know what I'm watching. I mean, this is just... Oh, okay, just crit. Okay. Well, there you go. 4-0 it will be for the Red Hill Regirock. Thankfully, the crit bailing us out of that. Rather delayed ending. Very nice. We move on to this matchup, which is the Bradford Bulu getting in on the action against the Sleaford Snorlax. That's going to look pretty tasty to me. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Still no Snom. No Snom. Okay, I think later in the season, when things are pretty determinate, we may see the Snom get some action. Well, there is the Abomasnow still. As we see, how does Tim manage this awkward Zoroark? Sableye is the lead. They're going to get that magic bounce up nice and early, and rightly so. Gets the Landorus, an immediate straight Mega. That Sableye is such a ghost type, you can barely see it. As Hatterene comes in, magic bounce the magic bouncer, but gets knocked off. How do you defend against this Sableye? Well, Camerupt is a little bit more easy to target. Draining Kiss on the switch, a nice play from Tim. Getting Rocky Helmet damage off as well. Curse Dave is in the club. As Psyshock is tanked. Is this Rest Sleep Talk Curse? No way. No way can this thing take an Earthquake from a Landorus. Body Press. This was not Dave's day. Gyarados comes in. Hello, Casper. Good to see you. How you doing? Dragon Dance in front of the Landorus. No fear. As Toxic is placed on the Gyarados. No Lumberry. And we'll probably see a switch in indeed to Abomasnow. As the snow goes up. We see another Dragon Dance from Tim. Is he actually rest? Exorcist today. As Earthquake on the invisible Mega Abomasnow sets up the veil. As maybe Tim was predicting the prediction of a Power Herb bounce and wanted to predict the Melmetal come in. That's what I'm thinking. But Woodhammer has just chonked down the Gyarados. That's a big offensive threat down for little impact at all. Hatterene comes in. Mega Sableye now visible as Toxic is bounced back. Yoink! And Mega Sableye getting Toxic is not a happy day. What an answer to Mega Sableye Hatterene is. I was hoping that I could indeed too see the Toxic bounce back and forth forever. How much damage can the Kartana offer with the Smart Strike through the veil? It's not enough. Is Mystical Fire there? Yes, it is. Nicely played from Eevee. Baits the trap, and Tim, he walks straight into it. And Tim says, indeed, he forgot about Veil. Psyshock hitting hard. Earthquake will pick up the kill, but Clodsire no longer able to wall. We're down to a Xurkitree and a Dream. But with Landorus there, it's just not possible. Sableye going to come in for reasons. And it will be able to tank a second Earthquake. Barely get off a recover. There's no switch in here. Camerupt surely had to be the sack. Instead of Sableye's HP, it still had use left, but we're not seeing it no more. As Abomasnow comes in, probably predicting the knockoff. Camerupt. What a switch from Tim. Somehow gets the yawn off. Down goes Dave. This is it. To force the switch, we're going to see Substitute Xurkitree pull off the sweep. Okay. Eevee just stays in knowing that it just has to not be allowed the substitute plays. Or just to get the veil off. That also is a thing. Sleepy times for Abomasnow will maybe allow Sableye a recover as Melmetal comes in. I would assume it's not the Zoroark, given there's a Sableye here. Melmetal. Bang. Bang. That's a lot of damage. Will there be... Oh, a flinch. That move can flinch. Yes, it's not very often you see a Melmetal faster than something. Clodsire is going to come in. Is it it is also outsped. This is a sad time. Crits for Tim. Terra Flying. Volt Switch. It has not been the day for the Bradford Bulu. Protect Melmetal, bro. And Trick Room Melmetal with double Iron Bash flinch. What the heck? Why hasn't that been done? There's a Hatterene. Boom! That's damage. And it is a 5-0 win. Nicely done by the Bonsly Vs Snorlax. You've got our next battle here. It was meant to be the featured match. I assume there was availability changes, so we've had a change of plan. And it's actually going to be the Appletuns against the Limerick Lumineon. So we have this matchup right here to see with our very own eyes. And there is a My Little Pony on the screen. Ooh, 2 My Little Ponies. Oh yeah, there's a Keldeo. Whoa. This is Team My Little Pony from Nelson. What a duo. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. How will the ponies do at breaking Mega Venusaur is the big question. In fact, Galarian Rapidash is clearly that answer. Can maybe get a decent switch into it with Baton Pass Umbreon. We'll see. I think there's also the problem of Mr. Cleavor coming through. And Mega Dancy always going to be terrified. Mummy is invisible. Just clicks Diamond Storm and kills. Holy shit. Nelson is not scared whatsoever of the bluff from Levi. Absolute Giga Chad plays. Hidden Power Steel easily evaded. And scouted now. Umbreon with the Baton Pass straight out. Or just doesn't have to pump but a hard switch is even more ballsy. Donphan is in. Terra Flying. What the fuck? Nelson is smoking something. He has allowed the synthesis to go off. Nasty plot from the Goldengo. That thing gets nasty plot. And that is a Psyshock to bring the Venusaur chonked down. Mega Venusaur has not been able to play the game. These plays from the Super Hoopa. Crikey, Maliki. Umbreon's going to come in. As we see Volt Switch go off. Primarina will come in and force something to go down. Or Umbreon just takes 42% because it's a non-invested Primarina. The Toxic goes off. Well, well, well. Now the turntables. Toxic Protect. Doing the bits. Umbreon likely to live another Moonblast here. And it might even get the wish off. It is. This is agonizing for Levi. Does he switch? Can he switch? You would assume you'd try to get the Donphan back in on this turn. But it's actually going to be Raikou fearing the attack in case. Nelson has decided that he's made enough big balls plays. We'll just click the Protect. Are we going to see Calm Mind Raikou? It has already revealed Volt Switch, so it's a little less likely. Discharge indeed. Looking for the paralysis. 30% chance. Does not find it. And Umbreon is being Umbreon. Great Tusk now in. On the Toxic. This is where it's somehow Guts or Facade. Raikou double, predicting that I would assume it'd be Donphan that comes in, if anything. But it is actually Galarian Rapidash. 4 times resistance to fighting. Takes the Shadow Ball. And here comes Twinkle Toe with the play rough. Crits for 74%. As the Shadow Ball is taken by Umbreon. And there's just no threat of this Umbreon. It's literally just Great Tusk. And there's too many mons to trade around with. Or Nelson, who should just have this in the bag. And this first 5 turns were so aggressively played. And he hit all his reads. That turn 1, absolutely fatal for Levi. Not sure what was going through. I'm sure it seemed like a mistake. He said he was stupid in the chat. Not having Cleavor has really ruined this battle for the Noiverns. Keldeo is going to come in on the Earthquake. And fire off. Ooh, a Scarfed Great Tusk reveal. Well, that is interesting. Donphan's going to come in, as it is, of course, Terra Flying. What an answer to Great Tusk it now is. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Doom, doom. Doom, doom. Doop, doop, doop. All the Donphan. This is Donphan League. No Ice Sharders. Volt Switch the scouting. Very brave from Nelson. No ground type anymore against this Raikou. Could prove a little problematic, but the rocks are doing the required work. And likewise, Levi has to try and spin them away, but knowing that it's Scarfed, it's Freelo for Nelson, who will bring in the Donphan to get the kill with the Rocky Helmet. And that actually stops the rocks from going away. Insane play. Yo, Tim, your travesty has been broadcasted. Yes, it is there in the VOD. Despise Nelson's Umbreon's nickname. I mean, Nelson's nicknames in general. We've got Mummy, Uwu, Lucio, Daddy, Twinkle Toe, and Horsey. So, definitely the upper echelons of creativity. Bonk. Appreciate Nelson's efforts to try and get this done. But he does still have an Umbreon. Moonblast actually kills. Incredible amount of damage. As in comes the Tornadus. Goldengo in on the Terra Water, as it turns out to be. And Heat Wave misses. This is brutal. The Umbreon, of course, could save some Mon difference, but Nelson's quite happy to click the buttons at this point. He will get a 5-0. Poor luck for Levi, who had a fatal turn 1. Never really recovered with Nelson staying on the pedal. And we have got a classic here. The very rare Merseyside Mimikyu against Jolteons Deino matchup. In fact, this has only ever happened once, and I believe it was the Season 8 Grand Finals. Go-Goat has come to the party. What an answer it is to Sandy Shocks. And also great value against what appears to be a niche little Omastar bring, and of course the Slowbro. See what this Go-Goat can do. 3rd place match last season 2. Okay, true. Alright. Celesteela. Surely if there's a Mon that can stop Roaring Moon somewhat in its tracks, it would be Celesteela. But where are the safe switch-ins to the Charizard? I have to say, there could be a bit of rain action on the cards looking at this. With Omastar having the Swift Swim potential, you know Rai will be on that immediately as a hazard alert. We'll have to see. This could be a spicy one. It's a Go-Goat lead. Explorers. Third Eye. A nice start. No rocks going to be allowed for Flupkey, who's forced immediately into the Celesteela on a probable Leech Seed. It is. Will Flupkey double predicting the switch? He does. Going to Meowscarada. Right. Into Jolteon. Is there a Signal Beam? It's outsped. Knocked off by the Scarf. Gets off the heavy duty boots. There is a Signal Beam. Does a huge amount of damage. Will be another knockoff coming in the way of something, though. It's going to be Go-Go. That's Rocky Helmet. Nearly killed is the Meow Meow Meow. Celesteela in on a probable Leech Seed again. Yep. This time, Go-Goat stays in like a Chad. Sandy Shock's in. No, it's Charizard. All right. Can this thing live a Fire Blast? Apparently so. Extra Drill's going to come in. As rocks go up. Immediate spin. Earth Power. Sugar Berry returning with Earthquake. It's Rapid Spin. And now, of course, Extra Drill faster. Firing a Scarf. But Third Eye will stay in and get the kill with Earth Power. Big Balls plays. The rocks will go up, though, as a cost. It's a trade-off as Go-Goat comes in. Now Florges in response. Giga Drain on that occasion. No Leech Seed. Predicting a potential... I don't even know. The Defog's probably going to go off and does so. Azrai will get the Leech Seed going. Or the Toxic, in fact. Celesteela. On Giga Drain. Wanted to cover off that Meowscarada switch. There's Mega Horn from the Celesteela. What the fuck? Well, here is the Charizard. This is a dead Florges. Weather Ball. Bonk. Yeah, I don't know why it gets Defog either. Okay, are we seeing Sash come in? It's Meowscarada. What has it got as Weezing comes in? Power Gem, of course. 34% damage. Weezing revealing those leftovers. What moves it want to go for is the question. Sandy Shocks is going to come in. Do we see a double? We see Flamethrower in the sun. A lot of damage still. And we see Rocks as the Charizard. No, Jolteon comes in. Rocks are there. Jolteon able to kill with the hidden power of some variety, potentially. Terra Grass, not taking any risks. Down goes the Third Eye. 5-4 the advantage with the late game cleanup potential of Roaring Moon. Is it lights out for the Jolteons Deino? Barring an Omastar miracle, it seems that way. No leftovers anymore for the Weezing. A Slowbro forced in. Pain Split is there. And Go-Goat will happily be taking this Psychic. It's going to be Rain Dance. We do see the rain. I knew it. I don't know what it's going to do, though, I'll be honest. Giga Drain. Again, desperate to not allow this Meowscarada in. But it does allow the Celesteela a chance. As Weezing comes in, but granted the rain turns are being lost. Automize is happening. It is fast. Iron Head. That's a lot of damage. And a flinch. A flinch. Oh, no. On the potential Will-O-Wisp of all things. And now it's got an attack boost. I don't believe it. It has to hit Stone Edge to kill Roaring Moon, though, right? It misses Mega Horn! It lives Crunch. And hits the second Mega Horn. Double danced Celesteela as Charizard comes in. What's its last move? Iron Head kills. It's just that strong. And that's it. Well then. This is the Celesteela we wanted to see. Getting the boosts going. And running away with the cleanup. Was that Will-O-Wisp on Weezing? I mean, it looks like it could so easily be the difference. Yeah, Offensive Stealer is nice because I feel like the whole thing that makes the Mon good in Draft League is how versatile it is that you kind of have to cover off it being a bulky piece of shit too. It's a 4-0 win for the Jolteons Deino and a very, very rare Motorcycle Mimikyu loss. And no shame with how well that was played by Flupkey. Even setting up the rain to cover off the poor wheezing flamethrower potential damage as well. What item was this Celesteela? Alright. What do we got here? The Plymouth Pachirisu. Against the Cheshire Combees. Decent start for the Combees so far this season. Better than previous times, but certainly the sort you would somewhat expect at this point. Alright. We have a Toad Call Evioliting boy in the house. Double Eviolite gang for the Plymouth Pachirisu. And not exactly a lot of knockoff threat to try and counter it. Reason didn't have Will-O-Wisp, so the finish didn't really matter. Fair enough. But then the Mega Horn miss would have. I saw you said that you could have Dragon Danced. Doublade. Great answer to the classic Darmanitan lead, because why wouldn't you lead that thing? As we see Terra, Water, Close Combat. What can this thing really do to Slowking with a Jetpack? What the fuck? A Jetpack Doublade bringing in the Tornadoes instantly. Brilliant play. Getting a Thunderbolt off on the Pangolier. And a Focus Blast that misses, although probably wouldn't have done that much anyway. Mortal Spin setting a Poison upon the Tornadoes. And getting a Volt Switch out. Typhlosion in. On the Power Gem. Uh-oh. Iron Bundle is in. And Pangolier, the Glamora, is out. So Hitmontop, the answer to force out this Delibird boy. Doublade no longer immune, of course, to the close combat. We'll take it still very well, especially considering having no Eviolite either. What an absolute Chad. In comes this fella. Rock Slide. Why Rock Slide? What? I am losing my mind. Stone Edge. Also called Stealth Rock. It's Heavy Slam doing some damage. Toad's Crawl. With the Spore. Asleep goes the Earthworm. Surely this thing can spin away rocks as well. It's going for Foul Play, but that does do more damage to itself than the Earthworm. Earthworm. Spikes starting to go up. Pretty cool. Rapid Spin is there. Will have to tank more damage though. And is now in Heavy Slam range as it wakes up. And Iron Defenses. Thunderous is in. Body Press, a huge amount of damage. Terra Poison to cover off the Focus Blast. Takes it very well. And sets Stealth Rocks. Poison isn't enough to kill the Tornadoes though, so we're going to have to see a Doug Trio Brave switch, but it's going to be Hitmontop instead. Did Flo predict the Doug Trio? No. The Thunderbolt is taken very well by the, I assume, Assault Vest Hitmontop. Here comes the Doublade, taking a fair bit of rock damage. Earthworm in. Into the close combat very well. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Toad's Crawl got to be sacked. Or not. Apparently alphaing up. But unfortunately not enough damage. And Santa Bot, the bundle, goes down in a close combat fumble to the Hitmontop. Conkeldurr is in. Can it beat the Slowking is the all-important question, but frankly, it's now low enough that it's always going to die to the combination of Dugtrio and Darmanitan. We need a Drain Punch Miracle, and the Slowking is going to ensure, as Knockoff does a huge amount of damage, but as Maddie rightly slacks off, it can no longer 2-hit KO. Return is an attempt. Certainly without the Rocky Helmet recall, not so bad, but Slowking has got it in the bag, and the Cheshire Combees will survive this rather close battle. Really helped out, of course, by the plays and reads against the Thundurus, and also catching the Typhlosion on the switch with the Power Gem. Ended up not being enough of the Slowking in the end, and it cleans up, outspeeding, thanks to the Mycelium Spore. 3-0 it shall be. A good game. All that without Galarian Darmanitan. Yep. I mean, just open the battle with it, and you know your opponent's going to have to answer it. It's so bad usually when your opponent knows what you're going to open with, but like that mon is absolutely unreal, and therefore you have to like just lead it. I think we've got the Lee's Litwicks in action in our next battle, if I'm not mistaken. Very exciting. They are still unbeaten as it stands, albeit, are they actually favourites? I don't think the Leeds Litwicks are ever favourites. In a matchup against the London Lunalas, who have this thing, Tinglu, that I still think is absolutely stupendous. And of course the Knuckle Stack. So we'll see. Yeah, I understand the slow priority spore ability thing. So we've got some Slush Rush potential plays with that Chilly Reception and Arctovish from the Leeds Litwicks. A favourite of theirs, of course, but the Mega Alakazam with Trace could certainly stop that being any real threat. Kind of weird. I guess this could be Scarf. Would that be enough? Maybe. But it's not going to be doing much elsewise. This thing probably takes 2 Vicious Wrens. Let's see. Coco in. Perfect lead. 4 Sword and the Lunalas as a U-turn. Sorry, that was a crit. Doesn't Coco have really good attack as well, as Earthquake hits the thing that doesn't have a sprite. Delmise. Here it is. Delmise will get the Power Whip off on the switch in. Loving that sprite. Fantastic. U-turn is there. Bravely stays in. Does Phalius. A really nice read. What's he go for? Poltergeist for a lot of damage on the Serperior. It's the sort of play that Phalius needs. Otherwise, he is going to lose this battle by default. Glare comes through. Slowking. Looking for that Chilly Reception, surely? Or is it going to be going for some sidearm stuff? I don't know if I'm going to get sidearm. That might be the slow bro. Wow! Damage! And that's Rocks. As Delmise comes in. Sword thoroughly a turn ahead now. What does Tinglu die to, bro? It's stupid. Rapid Spin for a lot of damage on the inbound Alakazam. Alakazam Megas. Traces Regenerator as well. Psychic for 55%. Is this like uninvested Slowking or what? That's insane damage. 43% on Duraludon on switching. You'd have thought it traced fucking Sheer Force. As we see Terra Fairy Duraludon. That might be game. Phalius has blown the Terra and entirely lost the trade as well. It's revealed the T-Wave and the Duraludon set. Poltergeist misses. And Serperior might be able to live now. It's going to go for the Leaf Storm and crit for 32%. Delmise doing work, tanking that so well. Poltergeist does kill the Serperior, but at what cost? The Knuckle Stack is yet to come in. Alakazam tracing Steel Worker. Has it got Flash Cannon? Does it learn Flash Cannon? These are the questions. It's going to pick up 1 kill. No more rock removal. This is a sad Arctivish, and I don't know what Hariyama boy is going to do, but in comes Coco. Has to be Scarfed. Threatening the Scarf. 1 shot by Psychic. It also couldn't have been Scarf because it didn't take rock damage, so Sword immediately knew it had to be Heavy Duty Boots, so that's not ideal. As in comes Mr. Hariyama with the fake out. Damage is there, but he is probably outspared, and 1 shot. It's game, and we're not going to see any lead Litwicks unbeaten's runs continue to 5 wins. The London Lunalas will rightly be up there, getting their 4th win of the season, 4th of many. Of course, with this draft, no surprise either. There is the chilly reception. Arctivish is in. It is faster, but it does just force a switch to this fella. Who does take 98% as it is still rock type. And then switches out. But why? Didn't want to give Alakazam Slash Rush, I assume. Like, is this not Scarfed Arctivish? It was Scarfed. Why switch? Wouldn't you want the Alakazam to come in as bait and then reveal your Scarf? Probably still slower? Yeah, it will be. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, honestly, it was probably game at preview. Just having a Trace Mon, and this thing is... I don't know. This thing's not fair. This is completely unfair. I don't know enough about Gen 9, but this thing looks fucking stupid. 5-0. No surprise. And the Leeds Litwicks run ends. It's not... It's like, what? How is... I don't understand. I don't understand them on. It's... I just see the numbers, though. We've got the Bonslys. Actually gets rest. The thing is never going to die. Ever. And the Oshawott. That is what we have got. So, if I'm not mistaken, that's both unbeaten teams. The Jolteons are the only unbeaten teams left, but we haven't seen them yet. We could have no unbeaten teams by the end of this week in the Miles Conference. Alright. Let's see. 2 Cannon, a Alolan Golem. There is a Jump Bluff. This battle is going to be content. Rocks lead for the Golem. And it's a great answer, of course, to Torkoal. Well, I guess it takes Solar Beam. No, it doesn't. Absolute boom from the Golem. Takes out the Torkoal. No rocks. No more sun. Literally alpha plays from Vex and the Bonslys. You look at their logo. That's exactly... Alolan Golem was choice banned with only Explosion. That is decisiveness right there. Rain Dance from the Blastoise is cool, but I'm pretty sure Hydrostein likes that as well. And of course, Draco Meteor in this case is so much damage, actually. I think it's probably Specs. Unless Blastoise has no bulk investment, which is also possible. In comes Flygon. Jump Bluff is in. Jump Bluff is in. And Dragon Dance is there. Oh dear. Sketchy times. What can Jump Bluff do? It's slower. Dual Wing Beat is a kill. Double Rocky Helmet is kind of pog, but that is the testament to the Jump Bluff and what we can consider impressive from one. Walking Wake is in, threatening that it's faster. Terra Fairy and Dragon Dance on the Draco Meteor. It's a very, very flexing Terra. Is that just game? Venusaur is in. Earthquake. Pfft. I mean, the crit doesn't really matter. It was going to be faster next turn anyway. And Flygon, after the way has been cleared by it, by a Bug Bite, trying to eat a I mean, Earthquake does more damage than Bug Bite. What? Huh? What? Well. Flygon Dragon Dance doing the bits again. Get a Dragon type in tier 3. Click Dragon Dance. Click Terra. If your opponent doesn't read it, you win game. And it's a standard 12 turner here. As Flygon cleans up. Where's its nickname? I don't know. It's 4-0 to the Mafia Bonsly. We've got 1 Miles replay left. Just wanted to show you how Bug Bite. But why did you have Bug Bite? That's the question. Sure, you might as well use it if you brought it, but why did you bring it? Yeah, that was a hard battle to play. Certainly after turn 1. The winless Dakar Drapion against the unbeaten Jersey Jolteons is probably not what most people would have on their bingo cards coming into this fixture this season, at the start at least. But alas, here we are. The rain! And the, of course, very aptly brought Water Absorb, or potentially Swift Swim, you never know. Mantine. I guess this weird deformed Tauros probably likes the rain as well. We might see some Sash weird plays. This is going to be a strange battle. Mojak's going to have something up his sleeve. It doesn't look like he's got a lot right there. And I know Atch's danger senses will be pinging. Obviously, Atch brings the 6-boy gang. Why not? It's quite the composition. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Ebola. Please don't follow me too closely. As we have turn 1. Dracovish is the opener. Toxtricity in return. I don't know if Toxtricity likes that. Mantine has to come in on the threat of Fisher's Rend. And that is exactly that. What can Mantine do, though? This is the problem. Now, in response, does it have Toxic or something? It has Toxic. Okay. Bloody Fairy is in. As Tapu Lele is in. Sets the Psychic Terrain. Can this thing play the game? Apparently, Prankster Light Screen can still go off because it's... What? Like, how does that... Parting Shot... Parting Shot fails because of the terrain. I think Atch thought he got away with it when he clicked Light Screen. I guess it's attacking moves that are priority? That's a weird interaction. Light Screen's still up, though. There's Moonblast. Gets the drop, of course. Mantine in, looking to defog away their screens. It's U-turn from Mr. Pelipper Boy. In comes the Kilowatt Troll. It's here, looking to click the move. There's no ground type. What you gonna do? Something's gonna die. In comes Archeops. It's Sash Endeavor. Thunder! It's Sash. Does it even outspeed, though? I don't think so. Protect? Lol? No? Okay, bye-bye, Big Burb. As the Kilowatt Troll putting up way too much pressure, especially behind the light screen. Toxtricity is in. What kind of terror shit is this? In comes Swampert. It's Shift Gear. But the light screen's still up for one more turn. I don't think Mojak's going to be too happy about that. He's not living a waterfall, is he? He's Terra Normal. He's still not living a waterfall. Boom Burst. But that's a special move. What is happening? Well, light screen is strong. And I think that barring a miracle, this is... Oh, Trailblaze. Hold up. Does it outspeed now? Bulk up. Lives. Let him cook. Grimmsnarl in. Trailblaze. Oh. Oh. Can this thing really kill Overquill, though? Pelipper's the one that comes in. What can this do? Hurricane? Lives? There's the Hurricane. Never realized how Psychic Terrain destroys Prankster. Yeah, it's kind of a weird, cool interaction, isn't it? Yeah, you've played, Maddie. Currently, we're watching the Jersey Jolteons. Look like they're going to be going 5-0 at the start of the season, sending the Dakar Drapions, Season 3 champions, to 0-5. As in comes the Swift Swim boy. Mantine is in, praying. But Gunk Shot's too much damage. It's too much damage. And it hits. Down goes the surfboard, which is weirdly quite a cool name. As Quilliam Shakespeare all look to do the jobs for Atch. Just goes for the bonk. Gunk Shot, bonk. Goodbye, Weavile. As Tapu Lele's like, please, please, could you miss? Please. It does. Does it get the kill? It's Moonblast. Why is it Moonblast? What? Why Moonblast? Is it dark? Oh! 2 misses in a row. Wait. No. No. Is this Scarf? Does it outspeed Swampert? This is going to live a hit from... You're joking. I don't believe it. 2 Gunk Shot misses. A Hurricane miss as well. What the fuck? Oh my god, and it matters. The confusion! The confusion! Oh, look, it breaks through. It has to break through confusion again, though. As the Draco Vish comes in. Vishy Sunak to live. No! What the fuck? That's the literal... That's the craziest end to a battle I have ever seen. And for all of Atch's corrected RNG this season, his past has come back to haunt him. And he's not going to go 5-0. The Dakar Drapion are not going to be 0-5. I'm pretty sure I said earlier it'd take a miracle. And apparently, miracles do happen. Back-to-back Gunk Shot misses. What's that? 1 in 25? And a Hurricane miss. So like 3 in 250. Well, colour me fucked. Because Mojack has somehow got out of that one. Jesus. Oh, and broke through Confusion twice, of course. Albeit the Hurricane Confusion isn't that likely. Right, well, let's see what that does to the standings. We are missing, of course, the one game from the Bolton Boldor and I believe the Tampa Turtwig. And that does put the London Lunalas, perhaps a sleeper pick for the season, up at the top at 4-1 as the Leeds Litwicks immediately getting to business with their descent down the conference. The Cheshire Combees also finding themselves on that leading record, but it's a tie for the top with a 13 mon difference. Sword will hopefully not go get too bored with the competition. There are plenty of other impressive teams to put up a challenge. Buckingham Bonsly rising back up with a 3-win streak after starting 0-2. The Dakar Drapion will be hoping for a similarly continued turn of fates. They're yet to pull themselves too far out of the dumps from the bottom there. Bolton Boulder, of course, could join the 3-2 club. Jolteons Dino back up into the playoffs, of course, and the Red Hill Regirock continuing their strong recent form in general too. Not tough times for the Nottingham Noivern, though, who have lost 2 on the bounce to slip a little ways down here, and a -9 mon difference is not healthy given that record already. All right. All right. Smiles Conference time. We have got the Gallade and the Mimes as the 2 remaining unbeaten teams. Will any team be able to go 5-0? That is the question in terms of fixtures and what we've got. Well. Let's see. Hopefully these replays load for me. We have got just the 5 replays. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Plus the featured matchup, so make it 6. I guess we'll find out straight away with the Gloucestershire Gallade. The Ponyta against the Bellossom. The Mimes will play the Entei. The Scorbunny against the Aggron. The Litten against the Starmies. And, of course, our featured matchup where we will hopefully, if he's here, be joined by Bastions. And all of my replays are stuck with a loading spiral. That is not a good sign. I will start a channel point prediction, I guess. Because we ain't got many replays. Who will win the featured match? Arnhem Appletuns or the Limerick Lumineon? No predicting, of course, if you know the result. That goes without saying. There you go. The Gallade up against the Yanma. And the Yanma have started their potential cooking this season. It's not the time you want to play them, but you're going to have to at some point. Right. And we do have the replay. Let's get to it. The Gallade against the Yanma. Looking to stay unbeaten. But of course, their mascot, the Gallade, albeit the one on their picture is actually a Mega Gallade. So there's a Hisui Typhlosion. I assume all that does is the same as normal Typhlosion and Click Eruption, which does look rather dangerous. Only really Goodra as a switch-in. And that can easily be pressured by the likes of the Mega Scizor and the Gallade. Looking like hard for the Yanmas to really deal with this press. It's going to have to be a lot of work done by the Great Tusk. But of course, with the Ghost type, can't be clicked for free. And even the Mantine is a good switch in, given both stab access. Going to have to hit some Stone Edges, a move that we have seen miss many times already this season, in particular last week. So in comes the Mega Scizor, and it's a Manectric lead. Looking for that free Volt switch, but Zeraora will happily switch into this all day long. As we see the easy Volt switch block. And a free knockoff for the Zeraora on the switch, catching the Halloreens leftovers. Perfectly played so far by the Gallades and getting a free Volt switch of their own, because there is no ground type to block this, other than the, of course, Great Tusk. As the Trick Room goes up. Draining Kiss, a lot of damage. Heals back up. As the Ceaseless Edge, looking to set some spiky boys. Why the fuck not? As in comes the Scizor prediction. Mystical Fire, prediction. Disappointing. And Bullet Punch can probably kill from here, so... Oh. It can't. A lot of bulk. Max physical defense, most likely. Very nicely done. Mystical Fire will get the kill. Mantine in. Baiting for the Zeraora to come back. Nuzzle. Baiting the Nuzzle, and successfully so. That was seemed like a pretty risky, rather low reward play, but maybe the Zeraora is like Assault Vest. Probably makes sense for it to be, because it's meant to be an answer for Manectric. Manectric can't play the game against this at all. Yeah, that's not much damage. That looks like Assault Vest Zeraora. Great Tusk. Locks the Volt Switch. This is going to be a big close combat. I don't even trust Mantine to take these hits that well, I'll be honest. Well, Mantine does come in. Knockoff is there. Gets rid of the leftovers. Doesn't make Manectric have Volt Absorb. It's Intimidate. It's just not very helpful, Intimidate, but an Intimidate is an Intimidate, I guess. It's because normal Manectric has Lightning Rod. If Mega Manectric kept Lightning Rod, it'd be a lot better in Draft League, at least. Why Jolteon and Zeraora are like the elite electric types. Well, there's Draco Meteor. Terra Ground, pretty cool. There is Mr. Tangrowth as the Roost comes out. There's no Happy Power Whip switch in, really. Toxic misses. And down goes the Mantine. This is really awkward now for Subson, but he can just bring in the Typhlosion and kill something. Choice Banded Tangrowth. Holy. Yep, sack the Manectric off. It is not doing anything. As here is Mr. Goodra. This is a sack of the Samurott. It is. Oh. About that. To be fair, I don't think that's a Draco. And that's game. 2 Draco misses in a row. How unlucky do you have to get? I mean, I think it's a misplayed clicking Draco there when you know it's going to be a sack. If Goodra had Earthquake, it's the freest Earthquake click ever, but you've got to sympathise with Icy there. He's missed 2 Dracos in a row. And any semblance of this being a game is just gone. This thing just cleans up, doesn't it? Bye-bye. Well, well. That is, I guess this thing might live. Nope, it doesn't. Okay. Oh, my God. That's sad. No Protect. Not that it fucking mattered, I guess. Oh, dear. Apparently, Icy forgot to put Protect on. It's a 3-0 win, and the Gallade will be the first team to go 5-0. But they may not be alone. You don't know. Another informed team, but one not unbeaten is the Berkshire Bellossom. I'm facing them. I guess I got these the wrong way around. We're on board with the Portishead Ponyta, as they do indeed go up against U-Turn, Flip Turn, Teleport FC United. How do they manage this? Rocky Helmet, Torterra. There's not many helmet holders here. Can they set the hazards? Torterra-ish. Torterra's going to have to Terra, it seems. That's going to be the play that potentially changes the battle for the Portishead Ponyta. Mienshau's here. With the Oaknut. Draco's ult is in. Tanks the U-turn, of course. Oh, it wasn't even that. It was a Zoroark. Okay. So in comes... Oh, the Willow miss on the Swampert. Which is effectively a knockoff because it gets rid of its leftovers. Effect. There's the U-turn and the flip turn. I love Pokemon. Tornadus is in. Is it going to click U-turn? I think it might click U-turn. Are we going to see like some Terra shit to potentially un-Hurricane? Here comes Hisuian and Goodra. Oh, I guess the knockoff. That other move that you're allowed to click. Now the U-turn. No Chesto on this very sad to now rest Goodra. In comes Mr. Swampert. Toxic is there. And of course, Earthquake wanting to be avoided, but that's okay. It can click Flip Turn. Here's Kangaskhan. Nice. That's 24%. In comes Tornadus. To be fair, can threaten with the superpower or can just click U-turn. Fake out will be damage, but that's no damage when you consider Regenerator. Thanks to U-turn, we'll just heal it back up. Yep, cool. Diancie is in. On the return. Tanked very, very well. Can it kill Kangaskhan from here? Probably with Moonblast. Substitute. Expecting the switch into... I don't know what. There's no good switch into this thing. In fact, takes a lot of damage now because of the thing. And does kill now with Moonblast. So here is the Torterra. Stone Edge misses. I was just talking about this. Oh, that's despair. You know what's more despair? Is it Flying Gem Acrobatics does not kill Torterra, who tanks it like a champ. And what I was going to say is that Stone Edge probably doesn't even kill. And it doesn't. And now Happy U-turn noises. I don't see how Harry can win this battle, I'll be honest with you guys. Even if that Stone Edge hits, I don't think this changes the outcome. The Torterra's not terrored, weirdly enough. We've not seen any cool plays with that. He just can't play the game. He's not got enough Rocky Helmets, and he's not got any hazards. Bella does not need to think to play this game. That's no discredit to her. It's, in fact, great prep. No Focus Sash plays for the Lonely Air with the very wild hair. In comes Goodra. And here's Swampert to click Flip Turn. It might click Earthquake, but to be honest, it doesn't need to because Torterra will probably die to Flip Turn now as well. Yep, there you go. In fairness, Earthquake would have made more sense given that. But hey, Tornadus is in. Does it care? There's the rest. Sad times. Goodra is not going to wake up. Superpower. And it is just about a 2-hit KO. Yo, how you doing? Nate? Why U-turn? Not wanting to give a free switch or just force a habit? Why not kill with the Mian Shao, I guess? Is this going to be 6-0? Probably not, because this thing will claim a kill here. Close combat. Don't let it set up or doing nothing. There's the Aerial Ace. Pretty cool. Aerial Ace? What does this thing even do? I don't know what this does. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Bye-bye, Torterra. Bye. Freeze Dry. What does Mr. Urshivu Yu-Gi-Oh! Fucker do? Terra Dragon. It's slower. I guess it might. Maybe they were both Scarf. I don't know. In comes Master Oogway. Drain Punch. Bang. Trailblaze. Bang. Volt Switch. And it dies to Life Orb. Alright. Well, it is Surging Strikes that hits a number of times, all critting. Maybe they all crit. Maybe that's just a thing. A Life Orb will take it down. It's a 4-0 win for the Bellossom. Harry was not really allowed to play the game. This is what I'm getting when I'm opening a lot of these replays, so bear with me on this Morsaku Mimes Entei endeavor of ours. There it is. What we got? Entei. I don't have to worry about being late, but I mean, this has been like a half week, if anything. And I didn't make it clear until earlier this week that would probably be the case. Just a lot going on right now. But it's nice we can sit and watch the Pokemon like we always used to. Alright, can the Mimes stay unbeaten with their fucking giraffe? Solrock continues to come. Let's get it. Entei's leading with the Lolrock. What are you going to do, Typhlosion, bro? Will-O-Wisp. What? Help, I'm on fire. Living the Earthquake thanks to that Will-O-Wisp. We're going to see rocks from the Solrock lead. Surely we do. No, it's Magnezone. Expecting the switch. An Alpha read from Cat, who I've just noticed does not have a ground type. He does a Pilot Swine. I don't want to see Regirock get a free game, at least. Melmetal is in. Terra Ground. It's going to flinch, isn't it? And it's game! Because Regirock has no answer. Woo! Alright, I mean, I'll just go normal speed. Bye-bye, Lolrock. And the Mimes will also go 5-0. That is impressive. There's no sprites. Showdown is completely scuffed. How does Magnezone take these hits? Not that well, given that's probably quite defensive. Fire Blast. Bang. I don't even know what came in. That must be Charizard looking at the damage. Yes, it is. It's definitely Charizard. Dragon Dance Physical Charizard makes a return. Alpha time. Boom. Flare Blitz. Very cool. It's still slower than Regirock though, isn't it? Yep. Bye-bye. I don't know why Cat let Charizard go down there. I guess he was hopeful that Regirock didn't have enough speed, but Regirock is obviously going to be there to outspeed Krill or Phil Venusaur. Potentially. Obviously, it probably has like Hyper Beam for that. This thing's tanky, by the way. This giraffe is kind of unreal. It looks absolutely fucking stupid, but it is really tanky. Can't take that Moonblast, though. A lot of damage from Slay Queen, who does not quite have the damage to kill King Arthur, who takes that remarkably well. What is that, Assault Vest? As Earthquake will clean up the Magnezone. It's a 3-0 win for the Mimes. We are buzzing. Maxpedef AV. Chonker. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Right. The Scorbunnies against the Aggron. Let's do it. Chickenator 2 on the field as Swampert leads to get the Mega and Rocks, but it won't be allowed to, potentially. We see Substitute. Aggressive plays. Is this some tail whip glowing baton passing boozy stuff, but potentially just haze from the Skuntank to counteract? Oh, hang on a minute. Crunch crits, but that's still a justified boost for Terrakion. You don't see that pulled off very often. It's a Salamence on the switch, but no Intimidate. Oh! Nothing like making a big balls read and missing. I feel like we have seen that happen a number of times in Smiles Go for Miles history. The Stone Edge prediction of a flying type coming in on your Earthquake and the Stone Edge missing. That's just so painful to play super high risk and it pays off and then it doesn't pay off. Just... oh, man. By the way, Regigigas has actually been brought to this battle, which is very cool. That's confused, Ray. There's only really Aegislash as mons that want to take any hits from it, though. And I imagine it's probably got Return and Earthquake. Does get the Rain Dance off, though. Does the Frog. Body Slam is the move. Looking for the Parafusion. This is kind of doing work. I'm not going to lie. Regigigas is kind of looking good. Hitting itself. Does Mega Swampert. Who does get parafused? Slow start is still going. Surely it's ending now. No, next turn. Aegislash now in, but it's so low. As Power Up Punch. This thing's trying to go hard. And now, Regigigachad finally gets his act together. Goes for the Confuse Ray rather than killing with Earthquake? Question mark? Question mark? Does it not have Earthquake? Against an Aegislash? Brother. What? Confusion ends. King's Rock. King's Rock. King's Shield. Darkest Lariat. That's the turn. You choose to attack the Aegislash. Despair for Azazel. I think it was just overplayed his hand. In comes the Skuntank, but not going to be so easy getting the Power Up Punch off without this thing confused or paralyzed, stuff like that. Does look for the Paralysis. That's still so much damage with Body Slam, despite being -1. Crunch does valuable chip, but Leftovers are still putting in the work. Will we see a switch back? We will not. Skuntank does go down. As Aftermath, also very valuable. In comes the Toedscrawl. Terrors into the Rock type. Energy Ball. Crits and kills. My goodness, Thomas has some sort of affinity and dark deal of the RNG gods today. Rapid Spin is there. Fast boy is the piano. Surprisingly, no Terra Blast, because it's Terra Rock. Surely it's Terra Blast. Yeah, it has Terra Blast. Okay. What does Azazel go into? Because this is going to get spoiled whatever comes in, right? No. Okay, there's a chance. Energy Ball. More chip. As we see the Moonblast doesn't even kill. Why aren't we seeing the Tapu Leles click Psychic-type moves in Psychic terrain? I don't understand. There's no way Aegislash lives anyway. And at +3, there's no way that other shit lives. Why? Anyway. There's Draco Meteor. To be fair, if Ninetales gets chipped, then Pidgeot might be able to clean up. U-turn to sack off the Volbeat. I'll be looking for that T-Wave, I imagine. Moonblast is there. In fact, it just needs chip more than it needs a T-Wave on this Ninetales. Substitute. Alright. Moonblast just going to break. Oh, no. Toxic is there. Moonblast, down it goes. It's kind of awkward because Dragapult is probably the one who wants to be saved, so Pidgeot's going to come in instead. Roost being the move. Moonblast, surprisingly, but maybe wanting to get that Toxic Stall action going on, huh? The Moonblast does get the drop, very, very importantly, as the Toxic continues to build up. Agility! What? Thomas reveals the agility now, and well, now what a difference it could make, but it doesn't kill the Hurricane. What? Huh? What? Huh? Yeah. What? This is gonna kill. It's gone. And Thomas wins. I mean, I got to sympathise with Azazel with some of the RNG that went against him that game, but ultimately, the buttons were not pressed. And Thomas is a master of button pressing. The Aggron are having quite a season for themselves right here. We have a high roller, heavy hitter to end the regulation matches here. It is the Litten against the Starmies. And there's a Bronzong there for the Darmanitan. What is there for the Mawile? I guess there's just stuff. To be fair, Blacephalon probably gets Will-O-Wisp. It can just click that. Alright, yeah. I mean, I just don't know enough to be able to think about this matchup. Raikou is the lead. Hard game to play Raikou, really. Flygon and Snorlax there. Knockoff is there. From the Meow Meow Meow. Heavy Duty Boots off. As we see Signal Beam. Seen this turn before. Overquill on the switch. And the U-turn is there. It's a little crit for good measure. Flygon in. Overquill. Is it an early Terror? No. Bronzong. U-turn. Sniper's learning the ways of the Bellossom. Meow, meow, meow. Looking to die for the knockoff. Bonk. Fair bit of damage. What does Bronzong do? Does just kill. Yeah. Valuable mon to get rid of. Interesting. So, Sniper's clearly not too worried about the Blacephalon then. Probably confident that the Scream Tail can deal with it. Swords Dance in front of the Bronzong. Not a bad target to do just that. Doesn't do that much with the body press. And down goes the Bronzong. Here we go. Sucker Punch Mind Game, surely. Overquill is in. I guess that's better. Terra Fire. No Sucker Punch clicked because not expecting the Terra. And that's the problem with this game. Anything can just change type and one-shot you, unfortunately, if you let your guard down. And Sniper's done just that. She's been punished. And there is the crunch as well. Overquill will be happy having done its job. Protect. Alright. Yeah, both these 2 and 2 into it. But they're both in the Smiles Conference, so it's pretty hard. And, you know, being 2 and 3 is no shame. Blastoise for the Mega. Terra Steel. Predicting the Ice Beam. And getting more chip because of it. Although Liquidation is in fact the move of choice. Predicting a switch to... predicting a U-turn to Snorlax, potentially. But Flip Turn will get the kill. Blacephalon boy is here. Snorlax in response, looking to force a switch. As we see a pursuit. Ooh! Jester actually living. Very cool pursuit trap there. If only Stealth Rocks were up, it would now be in Stealth Rock range, unless it's got heavy duty boots. As Body Slam will prop the para, but this thing might be Guts. Close combat. I don't think it is Guts, because that has no more boosting damage there. As Ice Beam slowly chipping away. Para comes through. Is there still a chance for the Starmies? They do have a Galarian Diamanitan, to be fair. There's a lot of damage from this fella. What does this do? Pray for a Protect? Pray for a Para? Because it's going to need to click an attacking move. Or apparently Snorlax is going to be sacked instead. To bring in the Darm. What? I think Sniper's just trying to psych out Joe into switching. Because she doesn't feel that the Galarian Diamanican can win the game from this point. Is it just not Scarfed? Or is it just Scarfed the Cephalon to cover off, most likely? I think so. There's one kill for the big angry snowman mustache fella. Snorlax is going to come in, but I would imagine that this is Scarf. Could you imagine if Snorlax hadn't tanked another hit? It might have been able to force one more switch, but also it doesn't matter because there's 2 spare mons, not the 1. And this thing is surely outsped the way Joe's played it. Indeed it is. A 3-0 win. Run from it. Hide from it. The Joe 3-0 is inevitable from time to time. And it's back right here. As we will have... It did have Pursuit, actually. You're right. Could have mattered. We do have our feature matchup. In fact. And it's going to be the Limerick Lumineon against the Arnhem Appletons. But we're on board with the Arnhem Appletons. You have the last chance now to predict in the chat of who you think is going to win. I will get myself in contact with Mr. Bastions, who you will hear shortly. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the featured matchup. I'm joined by Bastions, coach of the Arnhem Appleton, who coming into this match against the Limerick Lumineon. You're 2-2, but chat favours you against the 3-1 Limerick Lumineon. How confident were you feeling?
Honestly, I was really unsure about both the battling and the draft of my opponent. When I looked at the draft, the main issues I saw were the Mega Altaria and the Volcarona. Everything else to me wasn't as big of a threat because basically all of them massively lack base stats. Serena, Inteleon, Rotom, Cryogonal, Bombardier. All of
Mm-hmm.
them very low base stat mons, and I was not very worried about not being able to wall them. The play from my opponent has been pretty good. He's 3-0. I think that's one of the first times that happened for a completely new player, so that's very impressive. Yeah, basically I had 3 points that I needed to pay attention to. Make sure that Altaria and Volcarona do not get their boosting moves off. So no Dragon Dance, no Quiver Dance. Kill Clodsire. Yeah, actually that's about it. Those are the things that I needed to deal with. Everything else is kind of whatever.
Were you expecting Jirachi?
Yeah, I was expecting Jirachi, Scarf Jirachi specifically. I figured he couldn't bring Inteleon because of how hard Vaporeon walls it with Water Absorb.
Yeah.
So I figured he'd need some more speed, which would probably be the Scarf Jirachi, which he brought like twice already, I think. But yeah, that didn't end up happening.
Yeah. It feels like you're in a pretty good spot from team prep because of that Inteleon versus Vaporeon matchup, and I don't see how Volcarona beats Entei.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you like miss Stone Edges, basically.
Yeah, that's basically my plan. Entei is the check to Volcarona, and if Volcarona gets a +1, I have utility the Tapu Koko with Terrain Extender.
Okay.
To ensure that Iron Tread outspeeds it even after +1.
That's a lot of cover right there. I like that. That's cool.
And yeah, besides that, Articuno walls the Serena, Vaporeon walls the Inteleon, so I was pretty confident.
Alright.
Doesn't do much. I think it's brought as an Iron Tread check, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think that makes sense. It's all about the Altaria not getting that Dragon Dance or 2 up, but kind of hard struggles to sweep with more without any +2 at least. So coming into turn 1, what is the planned lead and why?
Planned lead, I think, is Articuno. It has Hurricane and Ice Beam, which means it does pretty well against pretty much everything he has. I expect the Clodsire. And I don't really have anything that can be fantastic into it.
Nice.
If I just keep the damage up against Clodsire, I will do okay-ish.
It's so tanky.
Yeah, it seems to have physical investment, because if it doesn't, I think it does like 35 if it's max special defense. But still, yeah, wearing down the Clodsire's recover PP is good enough for me at this moment. What came you now? Again?
Yeah, that's the Inteleon in invisible sprite mode, thanks to Showdown's server struggles at the moment.
Yeah, I figured it couldn't do much against Articuno, so I went for another, for a Hurricane. Well, it did focus energy.
Oof.
At this point, I figured he would Snipe Shot, so I switched to Vaporeon. It ended up being Hydro Pump. Whoa. And at 11%, it can't do much. I didn't flip turn here in case Clodsire had Water Absorb, so I just did the Toxic just to be sure. Serena, like I said, doesn't do much against Articuno. He doesn't have any fighting, any rock moves.
I'm just pausing for a second. Is Clodsire not immune to Toxic?
It is, yes.
You don't want to heal it anyway.
Yeah, that's basically it. I didn't want to heal it.
That's fine.
Toxicing it is fine-ish. If it is Water Absorb, then that would mean Miss Mages would get to substitute Nasty Plot and basically kill everything, which is fine. Rotom against the Articuno, I figured it would want to Volt Switch here, so Iron Treads. I thought it would have a Cobra Berry, so it would stay in and Will-O-Wisp here. It didn't end up having Cobberberry, but it stayed in anyway.
Respect. Bit scary. Bit
So
scary.
now, yeah, exactly. And Entei is now completely free to click Sacred Fire for the entire game. There's not really any great checks to it. I still have extreme speed for Inteleon.
Oh.
And Iron Head. Actually, this is the most dangerous turn for me. If I missed that Iron Head, like if he stayed in base form, I think I would be in some trouble.
Could you not extreme speed?
I
you on
could
about like
extreme
Roost?
speed after that, but I wouldn't one shot, and it would probably Earthquake, which would also mean that I don't really have a great Volcarona answer, at least in base form.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Clodsire is now the main thing standing between me and victory. I
kill it.
Yes. At this point, I thought it would Earthquake. If anything, it ended up being the Toxic. Not sure why. I thought he would not sacrifice the Clodsire, so I predicted the Stone Edge.
This is really surprising. I feel like these two turns have thrown me really hard because, yeah, I think Sark probably Toxic's expecting you to switch out into like Vaporeon or something. It's good that you stay in to keep the pressure off in case they don't recover. Obviously, they don't recover, so now you're in this spot.
That's
then
the main thing. I couldn't allow to
can Clodsire be saved? I mean, I guess if it is Water Absorb, it can recover on the Vaporeon.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it, I think.
But this is very sad because I have just watched another Stone Edge prediction and it's missed again.
Yeah. Such is like such a Pokemon.
I think this is the reason why I might never draft Terrakion ever. Just because.
It's a pretty nice mon, but yeah, hitting your Stone Edges is very important.
Well, you ended up hitting eventually.
Now I think Articuno just kills everything.
I assume that might have been a speed tie, but in fairness, you get the reward of missing your Stone Edge.
I thought it would be a speed tie, but no, he didn't have max speed.
Okay. Alright, we've got some Terra Fairy juice on the Serena, but I think Sark is fast running out of Mons.
Yeah, he's got nothing that can kill me, so if I just Roost, it just dies.
Surprising. So surprising the Inteleon came and the Jirachi didn't.
Exactly.
I feel like...
It has aromatherapy, which is pretty cool. And I outspeed, and I kill.
What other Mons did the Lumineon have, even if it wasn't Jirachi that came in Inteleon's place? Oh.
I expected the Paldean Tauros to come. It has good Intimidate for Iron Treads. It resists its stab combination as well, I think, or at least it does pretty well into it. Besides that, yeah, like I said, his whole draft is extremely lacking in base stats. It's like 15 less than mine across the board.
Whoa.
So, yeah, there isn't a lot of bulk. There isn't a lot of massive hard hitters. At least without boosting.
Drafts. Teams. What was there for you to prep for? There was, yeah, the bird thing. The Tauros.
Here would have been annoying. But I don't think it gets past Vaporeon.
Yeah, I mean, Cryogonal struggles against it. Spidops struggles against Articuno Entei. This thing, I don't know what it does. Angry Tauros too.
It has Intimidate, it's got Cut You, it's fairly bulky, hard hitting. I think it's a pretty good one.
Well, ended up being pretty comfortable. That puts you in a fine spot, I would imagine, in the Smiles Conference. We've got the updated standings here, and you are up very much into the playoffs. It's a straight-up overtake on the Limerick Lumineon. You got a nice, healthy Mon difference as well.
Very good. I like it.
That's good.
Well,
it's just good. I mean, what do you make of the Gallade and the Mimes being unbeaten so far?
Gallade and Mimes are kind of interesting to me. They are less on the whole hyper offense hype train of Gen 9. Subson is still pretty offensive, but he's also a very good player, so he can handle it very well.
Well, what's with that? What's with that Aggron? They're trying to compete with the Litwicks for unexpected contender of the week.
I am on the Thomas hype train. Let's go.
You need the Entei to get up as well to the playoffs. You need as much Dutch as possible and Casper as well. I mean, Casper could with a win, potentially.
Yeah. Casper, I think, is a pretty good player, but he falls into most of the same issues that most new players do. It's kind of the same for the Incaves as well. They kind of fall into the noob traps. So if they get some more experience, I think they'll do well in the long term.
All right.
But yeah.
Is the Mon leaderboard up to date? This is the all-time Mon leaderboard. How about the season Mon leaderboard? It may not be up to date. It is up to date, in fact.
Is it?
Yeah, because there's 5 games used on some of the Mons, so it must be. Got Flygon working up there. Xploud's still up there. Gallade still leads the way. Where are you cooking? Where's your highest? Mega Gallade. Okay.
Yeah, Gallade. As always, my Mons, my kills are a bit spread out. I think I've got 4 or 5 Mons.
That is the healthy way for it to be. You know, that is the ethically sourced kills. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
And in terms of next week, you play the Portishead Ponyta. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Theoretically, he and Substance should be about equal in skill.
Yeah, they're the same person, right? So
exactly. So if while I don't rate his draft as highly as Substance, I think I would still have a lot of trouble.
All right. Well, that is exciting. We've got other exciting fixtures like the Starmies against the Gallade, the Lumineon against the Altarius, who we haven't seen this week, Aggron against the Bellossom, and yeah, this is nice. This is nice. And the featured matchup of the week, of course, the Liverpool Litten against the currently unbeaten Bonsly Mimes. We're going to have Yeti on this stream. Ideally, yeah.
Stacked fixture list. I like it a lot.
It is. It is very nice. I imagine the stream might also actually be on Sunday again. Get a little bit of a streak going. Good double purple Drapion Deino in the Mars conference. The Bulu happening. I don't even need to look at any of these other fixtures. We have got the Bradford Bulu, who, now that the Leeds Litwicks have started their descent, I will put the house on the Bulus for that game. It's just gonna happen. You just know it.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can as well. All right, that's our verdict. That's our verdict here from Draft League in Week 5, is that the Leeds Litwicks descent is set. Myself and the Appletuns, Bastions, agrees.
Yep. It's here, and it's permanent.
That is all we can do. I will pay out the prediction, which, by the way, most people did believe in you. 64%.
Ooh, nice.
That pressure. But no, that's nice. Of course, wish you the best of luck for the remainder of the season. We are still in early days, soon to be, after next week, a third of the way through. We cross a third of the way, and that first third, I feel like, is always so important. We see teams like turn it around, right? But it's like it's always an uphill battle. Like I don't know.
I see.
These opening fixtures are really underrated, though we have seen teams implode and fall from high records before. It always comes to an interesting time, and we'll figure all that stuff out when it comes to mid-season, the good old fun with power rankings. For anyone who's new or been lurking, exclamation point Discord is there. It's goodbye from me for today. You'll see me on Tuesday, and goodbye, I guess, from Bastions as well.